Alright, there we go. Yep. Alright, y'all. Just go over a bit, yeah. Okay, let's see. Alright. Let's see. Now. Alright, y'all. I got it working. Alright, so, I didn't really have anything big planned today, but what I will do is this. So I managed to get a hold of, let's see, Amin Johnny on Facebook, and let's see. Oh, yeah. And we were talking about doing a possible collaboration for a subject, and he said, like, let's talk about a subject that we want to focus on, and then he'll probably be like in about like 2 months, but he's interested. He says he's he's fine with us doing a collaboration. We just got to figure out like a subject to talk about. So we could probably like comprise a list of what you guys are interested in, what you guys are wanting to work on, and to see what I can pitch him some ideas to figure out like what he would like, or what something we can do a larger collaboration, because this is something that I kind of want to get. I'm hoping to kind of get his and my his channel and us kind of like building a larger community. Let's see. Is he familiar with Kundalini? I think he is, because he actually does like a lot of energy work, and I don't know if he's necessarily said it outright, but that would definitely be a subject that that I know he would be participating in. But yeah, just kind of, if you suggest like a list of things that he's interested in. Let's see. Post a. You. To suggest to. But that would definitely be something. He says, so Sithis says, yeah, that'd be nice to listen to. Sithis was the one who suggested the Kundalini. Or let's see, Blade of Woe said chakras in general. Tassomancy, if it's something he does. I don't even know what that is. What's Tassomancy? I'll look this up. I'll say this. People sit there and be like, oh, Google shit. Like, that doesn't really tell me much. There's so many interpretations of crit. Let's see. Tassomancy, fortune telling. Oh, yeah. Actually, my teacher actually does this, or the lady who teaches me sword fighting, she does. Yeah, divination through tea leaves. I don't know how people do that, really. I don't know what they're looking for when it comes to, like, I mean, I can suggest it, but I really don't know what you look for when it comes to, let's see. I can probably check and see like some. I mean, you can probably check and see like some of the subjects that he posts with. Let's see. He talks a lot about chi energy, telekinesis, mental discipline. He talks about psychic blocks, or just energy blocks. Let's see. Yeah, he talks about a lot of spiritual development. Let's see. Let's see how to levitate. Posture. Let's see, that's telekinesis, diet. He seems to focus a lot on one thing. There's astral projection, how to meditate, pyrokinesis. Actually, pyrokinesis would be pretty cool. Opening your third eye, subjects like that, healing. Oh, invulnerability. I need to watch that one. Oh, just he actually has look. He actually has a telekinesis demo. If you guys want me to, hey, let me know if you guys want me to pull this up. It's like a 2-minute long little video of him doing telekinesis. If you want me to, let me know if you want me to play that one, and I'll play it.
I remember this YouTube channel of this one dude. I can't remember what it was called, but he'd have tons of videos of the kinesis things, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, the things. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think there was a guy on the the Become a Living God forum where he actually did like move to paperclip using telekinesis. He was at work or something.
Do you know Adam Thoth?
Yeah, that's the guy I'm talking about. That's the guy I'm referring to.
Yeah, his YouTube channel. He has a bunch of videos of him doing stuff like that.
Yeah, but actually, screw it. I'm gonna go ahead and play this just because. Make you guys watch this. It is actually pretty cool. Scroll up. Where was it? I saw it a little while ago. Oh, here we go. Is this the same video? Yeah, this is the same video. That is pretty cool. I like that little video. Let's see. I think he does have something on his page about divination and such on his Telekinetic Academy page. Okay, so let's see. I was actually talking about let's see what I was trying to remember. I was talking about recirculating energy and how to like when you different ways you could like you could absorb and recirculate energy, because I know he was talking about it, there are certain practices that tell you to store energy in certain areas. Like I think he said the Buddhist school teaches you to store energy in your dantian, and while the Taoist school teaches you to kind of like push it, shoot it, pull it up to your head, and then different methods. There were different methods, but his suggestion was that you want to kind of like when you pull it in, you absorb it into your dantian and then you push it into your root chakra. So there was a lot of talk, and I was actually reading stuff about recirculating energy, and that could be a subject we talk about, or we talk. Specifically, there was one. Screw it. We're all adults here. There was one about semen retention, where it was you basically kind of pull energy from your lower region, and then you pull it up through your spine. You pull it up through the spine into the head, and then you push it back down to the front, and it soaks into your dantian. And it's basically a way to kind of like reuse and recirculate the energy. So that was a subject I was thinking about doing. But actually, let's do this, since I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up because I'm gonna watch this video because I don't really know a whole lot about this specific subject, and since Blade of Woe brought it up, let's see. I think I still got it. Yep, Tassomancy for beginners. Gonna look this up. Okay, because I don't know a whole lot of reading about this, but I'm kind of curious as to how it works. So.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is the second video in my Tasseomancy series.
Oh.
If you missed the first video, in which I discussed the basic supplies needed to read tea leaves, you can find that video on the Tasseomancy playlist right here on my channel. Before we proceed, I would like to clarify that there are many different ways to read the leaves, and today I am just sharing one approach. So let's get started. Once you have gathered your supplies, you are ready to brew a pot of tea. It's important to remember that you should not use a strainer. Simply pour simmering hot water directly over the loose tea in your teapot. Be sure that your pot does not have a built-in strainer or a filter of any kind within its spout. Here's another tip to ensure that you have plenty of leaves to read. When you add the tea to your pot, save a pinch to place directly into your cup. So I had allowed my pot of tea to steep for just a few minutes. That's usually all it takes, less than 5 typically, but it can depend on the kind of tea that you're using. And I poured a bit in the cup, and I now realize that it needs a little more tea, I think, so we're going to add a little bit more from the pot so that I have a nice full cup of tea to enjoy. Notice how the tea mostly sinks to the bottom of the cup. That's where the sediment is situated. Some of the leaves, when you drink it, will go into your mouth so hopefully you're not overly sensitive to that. It's just to be expected, and it's pretty simple to avoid the bulk of the tea and leave it to rest on the bottom of your cup. Once the tea is cool enough to drink, simply enjoy it as you normally would. Sweeten it if you like, and if there's a particular issue or topic that you wish to gain insight about through your reading, you should think about it while you sit. This works well when reading for yourself, and when reading for someone else, encourage them to do the same thing. This helps to set the intention. As you finish your tea, be sure to leave a small amount of liquid in the cup. This will help the leaves move around more freely. Now it's time to invert the cup. Place the saucer face down on top of the cup. Holding both the cup and saucer firmly together, flip them over, like this. Position the handle of the teacup so that it is pointing at yourself. From there, rotate the cup for 3 full turns in a clockwise direction. This can make a scraping, screeching kind of noise with some cups and saucers, so be warned. After you have completed 3 full rotations, which can take a while to complete, gently tap on the cup 3 times. Now you are ready to return the cup to an upright position. Most of the liquid has drained onto the saucer, and you are left with the tea leaves. This is where the fun begins, as you discover the symbols and patterns in your cup. At this point, just take a moment to soften your gaze, allow your vision to slip slightly out of focus, and just soak in the imagery before you. I'm going to quote...
It looks like a face to me. I'm sorry, it just looks like a face. Don't die, so if I just end up leaving abruptly, it's probably die, yeah.
Karen Ward directly here, looking at the notes that I took in my tea leaf reading class.
So yeah, it's like, here's an eye, here's a nose, here's an eye, here's a big mouth, here's the eyebrows, and then here are all the freckles, maybe the hair. Looks like a face to me.
So, Karen said, take your time looking inside the cup. Look over the symbols and signs, bottom, sides, and towards the rim, including any leaves that are over the rim of the cup. Try to use a soft focus, like looking at a puzzle as you look at the cup. Turn it around. Look at all sides. Allow your intuition to flow freely. Notice what jumps out first. Look for heavy clumps of leaves or sparse with 2 or 3 leaves. Look for a balance of leaves. This can give a general overview of what's going on in your life or the sitter's life at this time. So first, just read the cup as it is, and then if you would like a little more structure to the reading, you could do, we'll start with a simple past, present, future reading, and you just divide the cup in your mind. You see it in thirds. So the very bottom is the past. The middle third, as you're moving up closer to the top, is present, and toward the top of the cup and the rim is future. So any images that fall or primarily fall in one of those regions can be attributed to that time period, past, present, or future. And at this point, you look for symbols in the teacup, such as natural symbols, animals, objects, people. Often, readers will see letters emerge and numbers, and those can be significant as well. You can look for shapes or objects in the leaves. You can choose your own symbolism and use your own symbolic language, or you can rely on some of the well-known tea leaf reading symbols There are lists and dictionaries, and I will try to provide some information in a future video about that. And you could have your own book that's not particularly about tea leaf symbolism, but just symbolism in general. Although I will say that that is not the traditional way to do it. Usually you're going to rely on your own or those commonly associated in tea leaf readings in particular. Once you become accustomed to seeing images as silhouettes, it will become easier to spot them. Gradually, a story will begin to emerge. If you get stuck, try taking a break from studying those dark shapes made by the leaves and consider the shape of the white spaces, that negative space between them. In the next video, I will talk more about symbols, and I will share some suggestions and resources for building up your symbolic vocabulary for tea leaf reading, and I'll also share a different kind of reading that you can try. See you soon.
Okay, I learned absolutely nothing. Sorry. I'm sorry, I didn't really learn anything a whole lot watching that. Actually, while we're on that subject, I have used, let's see. I actually did this once before. Let's see. There's a lot of funny words. Let's see. I can't pronunciate this one. But I have actually used a bowl of water and to see the future before, or see events. I actually saw one time there was a bowl of water and I was looking into it, and I got the image of the two guys who were my bosses at that time. They were fighting, and I think about like a few days later, one of them got fired for allegedly stealing money. So that is actually... Oh, I guess she didn't teach you anything. So that's actually a subject, if you, while we're on that, because it's my only issue when it comes to things like tea leaves and such is I don't know what to look for, and I think to a degree it's like some people, they pick up the idea of it's not so much of what to look for, it's what they see in the patterns, I guess. And what I would suggest, and this is me, if you do it a different way, that's fine. But my suggestion is, I would use a cup of water, and it doesn't have to be anything kind of specific cup, but you do want to have, like, clean water, clear water, and one of the things is it's you can use it in a bowl or cup, but you kind of want to be able to see the reflection in the water, okay? And it doesn't have to be a direct reflection. You don't have to see yourself in the water, but something you could do is just as you sit there and you have the glass or the bowl in front of you, it's important that the water is still. It's not rippling or moving around. It's very still. So it might take you a while, but the one of the ideas is that you would need to look at the water for, just kind of like, focus yourself, and you don't have to stare at it necessarily, but just kind of like look at it. And it's kind of like looking at, let's see, you said this says water scrying. Yeah. That's actually what I do. I actually found it to be, for the most part, very, I find that more effective than most. I think for tea, it's for the tea leaf scrying. When it comes to tea leaves, I think because there's so many components, in what you have, there's it's hard to explain, but if you've ever read this book, let me go show you this. I actually had. Let's see. If you've ever read this book, I actually have read it. Zero Limits, and it's actually pretty interesting. It talks about this concept of zero or absolute nothing, and it's from nothing that things emerge. So the confusion I get when it comes to things like scrying from, or reading tea leaves, is when you look at the tea leaves, you're looking at something. You're looking at something, and you're trying to interpret something from a something. And I think that in a lot of ways that can lead to, like, you can see what you want to see, is what I mean. You can, so if you're predisposed to think that, for example, if you go down the road and you see a particular animal doing a particular thing, you might think to yourself, okay, well, this particular animal did this particular thing, and that is a symbol of X, Y, and Z. Like if a black cat crosses your path, okay, that might be a symbol of black luck. Or if you see an owl, it's a symbol of such and such. And these meanings can kind of like differ depending on the culture you're in. And I think that's kind of like that's a something. That's kind of a there's already a predisposed belief that you're looking into. So when it comes to the water, let's see, synchronicity just now. Blade of Woe says synchronicity, yeah. Because when you're looking at water, you're not looking at nothing, but because it's so still, it's so translucent, it appears as if there's nothing. So you're actually looking into it. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you're looking into, there's no movement. When there's no movement, there's no influence. There's no influence in thought. And what it's important to do is when you focus on the water, and when the water is clear and stable, and you focus on it, that is something you just kind of you don't have to stare at it, but you kind of gaze into it, and then you'll gradually begin to. Actually, that's something we can probably try to do. Okay, so if you're on currently. If you're not doing anything else, I think Sithis is working on some runes. But if you're not doing anything, go get you like a small cup or a bowl and put some water in it. It doesn't have to be a whole lot, but you want to have it be like reasonably full, and kind of set it to where you can look at it, and set it to where you can look at it where it has a reflection. And when you do this, just it's important to just kind of like, you just kind of stare past it, like you're staring into space, but you see the reflection, and just kind of let your eyes kind of just glance, like you're staring through it. And when you just kind of focus on the stillness of the water, let's see, your mind will begin to slow down. You'll begin to kind of like synchronize up with the water itself, and you'll be able to think clearly, and your thinking will be very still. And that's the point of it. You need your mind to be still and not turbulent. Somebody quoted once that if you imagine the water during the ocean during a storm, you could throw an entire building in there and you wouldn't even know it. But if the entire ocean was completely calm and you threw a rock in it, you would notice. You would be aware of it. So it's more along the lines of being able to discern which one of your thoughts is an actual message or an actual vision of what you're an actual vision, and trying to sort that out from, you know, thinking about the past or thinking about the future or making all these other assumptions. But that would be a thing. You need to, the first step is, and let me go ahead and type this out. I'll go ahead and put this in. Okay, so water scrying. Okay, so get a copper bowl. Fill it with clean water. Get a copper bowl. Fill it with clean water, and let the water settle, and have a reflection. Gaze into the reflection, and allow mind to calm. And allow your mind to be calm. And it's not that you're not thinking of anything. You're just kind of staring at it. You're just kind of glancing at the reflection. And then you want to, when you're glancing at the reflection, you just want to kind of like, you know, the thought, when thoughts come in, just kind of allow them allow them there. Just kind of like focus on, you're just glancing at the reflection, and just allow the thoughts to come in. But you don't really pay attention to them. You just allow them to come in. And you don't want, and don't get on any particular one, and don't get hooked up on any particular one. Let's see. So that's the thing to do. Just kind of focus on the reflection, and gradually, you know, when you won't necessarily see let's see. So you won't necessarily see. You may not necessarily see a image in the reflection, but you'll start getting like these impressions and these thoughts about things. So that's something to try to do. Just kind of gaze at the reflection in the bowl, and then just kind of allow thoughts to just kind of come and go. And you're just staring at the reflection. Don't focus on any of the thoughts. See this? Oh, he had to sign off. Okay. Yeah, his phone was probably dying. But when you do this, when you get like a thought, or not really, like there will be just kind of take note of them. Don't really get caught up in them. So this says he switched to his computer. Okay. Don't really kind of get caught up in the thinking, but just kind of observe the thoughts. And when give this a just kind of gaze at it for like a minute or two, and then when you kind of come out of it, just reflect upon the things that the thoughts that kind of came into your mind. But don't like get sucked up on them. Just take note of them. And I found that oftentimes when I do this, I get a very clear image of something. I don't have like a vague interpretation, or it could be interpreted like multiple ways, and it's very clear about what I'm seeing and what's the events that are happening. Okay, and Blade of Woe says, and if I'm totally blanking out the entire time, or do I just continue for longer? You can. If you're blanking out, if you mean like you're not having any thoughts, that's fine. Don't worry about not having thoughts. You're not supposed to get anything. The idea is that water is very clear, and when you have a clear mind, you have clear thoughts. You see things as they are. That's the point. You need to be able to see things not without influence of not being influenced by your own opinions or by the opinions of other people. You see things as they are, and that is an important aspect. Yeah, but the important thing is trying to make a divination is not about trying to force anything to happen. It's allowing things to happen. It's all about allowing things to happen. The less you struggle and the less you try to force something, the easier it is. And sometimes it doesn't even it doesn't even happen when you're aware of it. It might come later night. It might come at a later point. But that's a practice to do. Let's see. I got a topic. Lucid dreaming for beginners, advanced techniques. Anything you want to say? Actually, yeah, that is something that lucid dreaming is actually something that Amin Johnny actually does post about. That's another subject we could talk about. Let's see. because I know he's actually made some videos about lucid dreaming. And I actually am a little curious about what the difference between astral projection and lucid dreaming is, because I'm actually kind of wondering, like, where's the variant between these things. But yeah, I would suggest that. So I got my answer. Well, I think I got my answer in the bowl, but I can try again later. Okay. And yeah, just the another thing you want to be able to do, and this is important. I know that a lot of people say that they want to have like a specific cup or bowl to use this method on. Don't have a specific bowl, don't have a specific cup, don't have a special, just use whatever cup or bowl you got, because here's the thing, when you make it all about a specific item and say, well, this specific item has to have all the residual energy and such, then what you're doing is you're basically limiting yourself. You're telling yourself that everything has to be done. You're basically telling yourself you can only use this ability if it's under this specific object. I'll give you a case in point. My roommate that I've mentioned, you guys, she is trying to build herself a scrying mirror, and she's being very meticulous about it, and it's she wants all these very specific items and such, and it's like the items you're looking for, the items you need, they don't come from the object, they come from you. But if you put the attention on the object, or you make the object the only thing that works, then the object has all the power and you have nothing. You can, Sithis says you can scry with your eyelids. Does she know about that? I don't think so. I hate to say it, but I feel as if my roommate is more along the lines of, what's that thing? It's like a magician in name only, if that makes any sense. And I'll be truthful with you, there's a lot of, I have a bit of a bias or a bit of a resentment towards a lot of people in the modern time, because I feel like a lot of these people who are claiming that they're this, that, and the other, there's some kind of like old religion or such. Yeah, they're just claiming, yeah, I'm such and such and so forth. They're pagan or whatnot, whatever. And it's just, you're just that in name only. It's not a genuine thing for you. It's an image. And I get annoyed by people like that. I get annoyed with people who are like, it's all about the image and not about the actual. They have like mountains of books, and they read such and such, but they never actually do anything. They never actually do anything with it. They never actually make an application of it. Sithis says, apparently I'm not the only one. Let's see. Okay, so Blade of Woe says she's getting another synchronicity. I guess you mean like I guess she means like she's getting like an image or something, or some kind of sign. Yeah, just kind of like, take note of the signs, and don't overly attach yourself to their meaning, but just kind of like recognize them and understand that they're there. Okay. So this says, with astral projecting, you're ejecting your consciousness into the astral realm. With lucid dreaming, you are simply becoming aware of the fact that you're dreaming. Whatever it is you dream actually gets me thinking. See, I would actually want to see which one of those because I was reading something about where you could actually do more while you're dreaming. I'm trying to figure out if that's an astral projection or if that's lucid dreaming. Because imagine being able to, I know when you're trying to sleep and you're like, man, I don't want to go to sleep. I got all this stuff I got to do. It would be nice to be able to be asleep, but at the same time you are actually working. Another person I know, we were watching Doctor Strange, and he wanted to get the book on astral projection, so while he could sleep, he could also read and study while he was sleeping. And I think that would actually be an interesting concept. Let's see. I know when you're astral projecting, your body's asleep and your mind's awake. I wonder about lucid dreaming. Your body would obviously be asleep and your mind too, but you're not your awareness. I'm gonna look it up on BLG. Yeah, because see, that's my thing is that I'm under the school of thought of when you can walk on water, you can just take the boat. Basically, why do I need to do something if it doesn't have a practical purpose? And I can understand the practical purpose of astral projecting, lucid dreaming. I mean, I'm not saying there is no practical purpose for it. I just can't really imagine one. Other than it's I'm aware of that I'm sleeping. It's can I do anything with this? Can I actually? Because I know that there is a way. I think somebody mentioned that when you're lucid dreaming, you're able to communicate things to your subconscious and maybe able to do things that you're not aware of. That would be pretty cool. Blade of Woe says symbolism. Are you asking about the lucid dreaming or something else? Let's see. Well, your subconscious will try to communicate via symbolism, so being able to pay attention would seem useful. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Or, being able to kind of understand the clarity of what's what. What about filtering negative energy? Let's see. Okay, so he posted a video. That is actually something. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I think we found like a good subject, something that I mean Johnny is pretty good at, or like he goes into detail about. I think lucid dreaming and out of body experiences would actually be a good subject for us to talk about. And so it's gonna be about in a couple of months. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot him a message and tell him that you guys predominantly want to talk about lucid dreaming, and that would be a subject that we could really go on. And what I'd like you guys to do is really kind of get your questions, or subjects that you really want to talk about or ask about, because I actually know some that I want to ask about, and we will, yeah, we'll really kind of get that going for him, because I think like he's got a lot of really good subject matter, and I think that would be like a really good subject to talk about, because I'm kind of interested in it as well. Let's see. Yeah, we're in voice chat. Sorry, I was reading some news. I'm not gonna. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we are doing. Oh, not doing. Sorry. Let me edit that. Crap. It's not don't. It's doing. Yeah, the one thing I spell right is incorrect. Doing a collab with me. Excuse me. Okay, doing a collaboration. Astral dreams are basically bootleg astral projection. See, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Am I wrong? No. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I mean, it seems legit. I don't see a difference. I don't know if there is a difference, so, uh-oh. Let's see. Um, actually, so Hi asks me if I start work again. Actually, yeah, I actually did start. I kind of got something new. It's it's basically like it's DoorDash, so I'm kind of like dropping food off from people, and I started small. I got like only a few hours, and I've made about like 130, but it wasn't like I only took like I didn't make any. I did. It was I did about maybe around 12 hours of work last week, and that was I selected 12-hour schedule a 12-hour schedule. I just kind of like selected them, and I got like around $130 for the work. So it was. I think if I do more, I'll actually get more. I'm taking today off, but I'm gonna see if I can. There's a way I can actually do a work, get paid, and then kind of Let's see. Blade of Woe says, I want to do astral projection. From what I've read, it's better to develop your senses first before entering that kind of state. Correct? No, that's actually not correct. So, in my experience, I've astral projected about 7 times. And I will say the first time, I did kind of get roped up in the idea of like, this is what a lot of people say about it, but I didn't have a lot of those negative experiences. What happened my first time was when I finally got out of my body. I felt like I wasn't sure if I was in or out. I thought I was standing up. I felt like myself standing up, and then my eyes were closed, and I basically was just like, I just kind of commanded myself to open my eyes, and then, boom, I could see everything. So I would say it's not necessarily to develop your senses. Actually, it's using astral. From what I've told, astral projection is a way you can kind of like develop a lot. You can develop a lot of your senses a lot better. In fact, I'm going to start getting back into my astral projection. So, if you can. Yeah. So what Hi says, if you can actually astral project, your senses will forcibly catch up. That is a very true statement. I found that in my experience, that has been very true. They are your astral senses, so being on the plane would be easier. Yes. So that is an actual true statement. My experience. No. It is easier if you do sense first to control astral. Sorry, I don't understand that. If you don't, you're at the mercy of everything. I would slightly disagree with that. I know that Hi is not. I don't think he's on the live stream, but I would slightly disagree with that. I would say that it is very much of a you can learn as you learn as you go, but it's very instinctive. It's very intuitive. When you just it's one of those you have to allow yourself to allow yourself to be able to do it. If you don't allow yourself the ability to do it, it's difficult. Like meditation, you can't force yourself to focus. You have to allow yourself to focus. But I would say like a lot of it is based upon personal experience. In my experience, it was very. Once I got out, I was able to control things a lot better. Oh, okay. All right, guys. I gotta go. Dinner is ready. But yeah, go ahead and keep just discussed. Sithis, do me a favor. Just kind of just whatever you think is a good idea. Just just personal subjects you feel you want to talk about. I know lucid dreaming is one, but if there's anything else, just kind of post it and just kind of do it in the class subject. Just kind of post the ideas that you want to have, and I'll run them by Amin, Johnny, and then say like, hey, this is the stuff we're interested in talking about. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you so much for class. Glad to be back with you guys. And let's see. Also, let everyone else know who wasn't here. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone. That's just the idea. We're gonna be submitting the ideas, and I'll let you guys know when I talk with Amin, Johnny, and I'll let them know what and I think it's gonna be about 2 months, but then we'll get to that. He's really good with what he discusses. He breaks it down really well. All right, guys. Catch you.